Hello everyone. I'm going to show you a bit of the game I'm currently developing, SpArk. Let's dive right into it. This is a welcome screen where you select the company name, headquarters, base name and so on, difficulty. This currently only changes the starting cash. Right now we have $100, which doesn't get you far with a space program. But yeah, it's going to affect research speed and stuff like that as well later on. A lot more. And the game mode, you can select sandbox, which is a more relaxed mode where you you kind of set the rules, what you want to do and so on. There's no time limits or major cataclysmic events, not to spoil too much. And the scenario mode is the opposite of that. And it ties into the game of the name of the game, sorry, which is SpArk, Space and Ark. Space is obvious, it's a space game, but Ark comes from the most interesting book and the most read book in the world, which is obviously the book of Genesis in the Bible. I guess the Gospels, the good news is the more important books, but Genesis is very interesting. And in it we have a story of Noah. And he builds a big ark to save him and his family, and also the animals, from a big flood, a cataclysmic event. God flooded the whole world for all the sin in the world. But Noah built an ark and saved him and his family. And for months they were just floating on the waves, and the water slowly subsided. And they landed on the earth again and repopulated it. And the scenario mode will be very similar to that. There'll be a big cataclysmic event, not the flood though. God promised never to send a flood again to punish and wipe out all flesh from the earth. And that's where we got the rainbow as well, from that promise. It's the sign of his promise. The book of Genesis is extremely interesting. If you read the first sentence of the book, it's in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. So in the beginning, that demarks the start of time, heavens, space, and the earth, matter. So time, space, and matter. And that's very interesting, because you can't have neither of. You have to have them all created at the same time, or the other doesn't make any sense. If you only get matter, where and when will you put it? If you have only space, when will you put it? What will you have in it? There's no point. And if you only have time, the other two will just be static. Yeah, but we can move around. I just think it's very interesting. Extremely interesting. I recommend reading it. Anyway, let's go on. Here we have the solar system, and the point of the game is to colonize. Here we have Mars in the background and the moon. The easiest target for colonization is probably the moon. But it's pretty close to the Earth, so maybe Mars is better, depending on what happens. I don't want to spoil it. But the moon is a very good place if you can generate fuel. It's a good stepping stone. because you don't want to pay the heavy price of launching from Earth all the time. The gravity is quite high and the atmosphere is thick. It's actually lucky that we even can get off the planet. If parameters were just slightly differently, that would be impossible. At least with conventional rockets. Yeah, let's see. Let's dive in. So when you start the game, this is what you start with. This is the space base. And it's just a mud road and a mud patch for storage, and a grid connector for buying and selling power. First thing we want to do is to create the production tent. There will be a tutorial and so on to explain these things, what you want to do. Oh, no crew. Let's hire some. Up here is the hiring manager. We'll just pick some random ones here. We need a few actually. Doesn't hurt. We'll pick some engineers as well. You have crew and engineer. Engineers for development and research and so on. And then the tutorial will explain about time controls, I guess. Just watching building build up slowly is not that fun. We'll need to do some research here. We're going to build a rocket. For that we need rocket parts. So we can start with basic structures, basic propulsion, and basic fuels. Kind of need all of those. Yeah, I can see this go. Let's just speed forward. Yeah, there we are. Basic fuels. It's basically basic. Carolox, RP1. A very commonly used fuel for rockets. And here we are. You can look outside the base here. This is the rocket designer. First thing you want to do is to select the hull. These are outpost hubs. They shouldn't be available this early in the game, but ignore that for now. We have to design a hub. No, sorry. A hull. And let's go for a tall one. We want this to be for the lower stage, so we need a lot of fuel. And this is the only option we have right now for fuel, RP1. But with further research you can get the other propellants here. The material and the structure, we want a lightweight structure. And we can name it. Let's just go with the standard name. It's good enough. And there we are. And we need engines as well. But to attach the engines, we also need a thrust structure. It takes the energy or the push from the engines and distributes it to the rocket. Make sure the rocket just doesn't fall apart. We don't have so many options here right now. It also has the manifold that distributes the fuel and oxidize it to the engines. Let's see. Yeah, we want one in the middle and two on the outside. Let's see, that's good. There we are. And we also need some engines. So let's design one. Let's go with a small. By the way, if you can figure out what engine this is modeled after, though very simplified, just tell me in the comments. Yeah, let's do the gas generator version. Different versions have different advantages and so on. the gas generator adds complexity and so on, but it's generally a good engine type or engine cycle. Sea level, it's the only thing we have right now. And, we want to use generative cooling. Ablative cooling has a lot of downsides. It's much more simple, but complexity added by regenerative is high, but it's worth it, I think. Let's see. Complexity makes it more difficult to research and level up and so on. Right, there we have our engines. And on top of that, we want to add another stage. But we don't want this huge hole on the upper stage. So let's go with a short one. Let's do it. Carlock's the only option we have. Blah, blah, blah. Lightweight is good. There's actually an ultralight version as well that you can research. It's good for smaller upper stages. Right. And the thrust structure. And here we just want one engine. So let's use the... Yeah, I didn't explain this. This thrust structure has two different places where you can put engines. The central engine and the outer engines. So for the lower stage, we used the outer ring where you can have two engines. And for the upper stage, we just want one engine. Yeah. Thrust to weight ratio looks good. But still need to add the cargo adapter. Right. Oh yeah, and a fairing. We don't want our stuff to shake apart and burn up during ascent. Let's do a short one. Let's use the more efficient material. All the options we have. Expendable. We haven't researched any of the recovery methods. Let's go. There we are. Yeah, let's see. Can we reach low Earth orbit with this rocket? Seems like it. With a little margin. Let's see if we add some. Barely. We can barely lift 100 kilos to orbit with this one. That's awesome. What should we call this one? Rocky one. Mark 1 maybe. This is a Rocky Mark 1. Finalized design. So what happens now is that our friends in the development department will start working on these part schedules, schematics, and eventually it will create the Rocky Mark 1 schematic. Let's just push this through. By the way, we can do this as well while we're at it. We need a launch pad, so let's research launch infrastructure. We also need heavy roads so that we can transport rockets from the production facility to the small launch pad. Let's go. These are poor engineers, have a lot of work. That's good. Search them right. Yeah, and while we wait for this, maybe we can also start the building. Start with the road, crawl away like that, and a small launch pad there. Good. Storage. Oh, that's right. We're gonna need some storage. Let's do this first. Build, 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 build. Okay. It seems that we're finished with the parts and the research. Yeah, but we need to research bulk storage as well. Because we need to store chemicals. It's needed for some of the parts we're building. Storage. Oh yeah, we don't have it yet. it's a fairly quick research. There we go. I'm kind of speed running this right now, I guess, because I want it to be a short video. I have to go pick up my kids. See, let's go. If you hear an alarm later, that's why. Good, good, good. Yes, bulk storage. Yeah, so let's build that rocket. Production, add order, rockets, Rocky Mark 1. And yeah, we'll start building. Building is very slow, building rockets is slow, so let's speed up time a little bit. Oh yeah, need chemicals. I prepared for everything, but I forgot to actually buy the chemicals we need. But I don't want to keep buying it, so I'll add a constant buy order so that it will keep being refilled. Yeah, here we got chemicals. And as you can see, it keeps getting lowered and bought up. And that's because it's building and using it, actually. Let's see. Active, yeah, done. We have a rocket. Let's see. Is it? Yeah, it's here in our production tent. Awesome. So let's send it off. Yeah, let's create the mission for it. Earth to low Earth orbit. And select the rocket we want to use. That's the one we just built. It's a configuration, so yeah, I'll explain that some other time. Let's see. Let's add some concrete, like a mass simulator. That. Yeah, looking good. Circularized orbit, yeah, we're gonna make it. Yeah, but the margins are very low. So there's no purpose in sending concrete into space. So we'll make this a test flight and actually improve the different parts that we have. Let's improve the engines, the hulls, and the thrust structure. So these are test objectives that you add. And for those parts, you will get, in this case, efficiency data that you can research then and to improve your engines, your hulls, and so on, your parts. Reliability makes them go boom less often. Efficiency makes them better, more efficient, so that we can lift heavier things and so on. Production is to speed up production and also the cost of production. Reusability is for recovering part. Yeah, let's go, let's start it. And here we have our little rocket rolling out to the launch pad. Speed it up because it's pretty slow. Yeah. Go. Yeah, and there we go. And what happens now is that we got some new development projects for our developers, our engineers, to look at. Some efficiency data for all the parts that we selected before. Let's just let it roll. Looky, looky, we got some upgrades here. So engine efficiency level 1. Some added thrust. Thrust is always good because the faster you can go up, the less you need to fight gravity. And ISP is basically how efficient the engine is. The chamber pressure, that's probably why we got the ISP upgrades. And also reduced mass. If we reduce mass by 4 kilos, we have 3 engines, so that mass will be stuff we can shoot up into space instead. More concrete. Hooray. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the holes are lighter as well and reduced drag. Every little trinkle is welcome. Let's look at contracts, because I'm getting bored with sending concrete into the space. Let's see, what is this? Oh, that's one big satellite, so we can't launch 900 kilograms. What do we have here that we could actually, oh, this one maybe. These only weigh 45 kilos each, and there's 4 of them. We get 2 million. That's awesome. I think that's the only one we can actually do right now. Not in one go, but in 2 goes maybe. Low Earth orbit is where they wanted it. Let's say we want the rocky rocket. And we can add 2 of those. I don't think we can do 3. We can't even do 2. Oh, okay. We're gonna lose a lot of money in this one. Yeah, but don't tell the customer, okay? Let's make this a test flight so we actually just get something out of it. Adding this test object adds a lot of risk to the flight, so let's hope it doesn't blow up. Right. So what I did there was to queue up a build. So the let's auto clean this. So it actually added this automatically to build the rocket. There'll be a lot of those quality of life things added to make it easier and faster and less tedious to do those things. The mission planner will have a refly mission and so on. Like now we have to do it like 4 times. Unless these efficiency upgrades helps us. Not for sure, but we might be able to actually run 2. Can we? Yeah, now we made it. With 2 of them. With extremely tight margins, but yeah, let's be naughty again. Yeah, I don't know. Now we're just basically doing the same thing, which I've already shown. So I'm not sure what else to show here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we failed to launch the last one. Probably ran out of time there. So yeah, we should have gotten some of the money from that contract. We had a better rocket. Could have made it. Yeah, but we thank the customers for all the upgrades we're getting here, for sponsoring us. Could have, of course, done it without the contract, but then we would have lost a lot more money. Yes. So what else will there be? Yeah. Like right now, you can actually have stations in space to refuel, and that's already implemented, but it's not finished yet, so I don't want to show it right now, but maybe in the next video. And I'm working on outposts, which are basically stations that you can land on a planet and start just to bootstrap the economy and so on before you can have an actual proper colony. Yeah. What else should I show? I'm not sure. I think I will just stop there and like and subscribe to see more updates, to see the direction which it's going. Yeah. Don't have anything else, so God bless you and see you.